You know that feeling when a black cat crosses your path and suddenly you glance over your shoulder, grit your teeth, and maybe mutter, "bad luck"? What if I told you that in many corners of the world, the same sleek, midnight-furred whiskered beast is considered a good luck charm, a wealth magnet, or even a love talisman? Today we're taking that myth, tossing it in the air like catnip confetti, and watching it scatter across centuries and continents. Because black cats are not some universal curse. They're complicated. They're mystical. And depending on where you are, they might just be the luckiest little four-legged deal you ever meet. Strap in. Believe it or not, black cats didn't start off as harbingers of doom. Back in ancient times, cats, including black cats, held a special status in several civilizations. In ancient Egypt, for instance, cats were revered creatures associated with protection and divinity. The feline-headed goddess Bastet was worshipped as a guardian of homes and a protector against evil. Killing a cat, any cat, was a crime. Mummified cats have been found alongside humans, a sign of respect and spiritual belief. Black cats in particular, with their dark coat and glowing eyes, fit right into the mysterious, mystical vibe. In that context, they weren't feared. They were admired. Think of them as the original feline ninjas. Silent, shadowy, powerful protector vibes. Then history pivoted. As Europe entered the medieval period, the rise of superstition, religion, and fear of the unknown cast a darker shadow on cats, and black cats took the brunt of it. Around the 13th century, with events like the papal bull Vox in Rama, issued by Pope Gregory IX, cats were increasingly linked to witchcraft, satanic cults, and demonic rituals. From sacred protectors to suspicious companions of witches, the black cat went from shrine-worthy to scapegoat. That shift planted the seeds for centuries of fearful superstition, where a simple feline could trigger paranoia. But while medieval Europe was busy demonizing black cats halfway around the world, and even across the ocean, other societies were busy writing an entirely different story. Not all cultures swallowed the black equals bad narrative. In many places, black cats kept their mystique and their charm. Take Japan, for example. There, a black cat isn't a curse, it's a boost. Some Japanese traditions suggest that owning a black cat can bring good fortune, prosperity, and even help single people attract romantic partners. Black-furred cats are sometimes associated with the good luck figurine Maneki Neko, the beckoning cat, which is displayed at shops and homes to attract customers and prosperity. Single women historically believed that black cats would help bring suitors, so instead of a doormat or love potion, they kept a cat. A real soft-pawed love charm. Over in Scotland and parts of Great Britain, the arrival of a black cat at your doorstep was considered a strong omen for good fortune. Some stories say that if a strange black cat, meaning not owned by someone, came to your home, you could count on future prosperity. And if you were a sailor, black cats were practically considered little sea gods of safe voyages. On ships crossing dangerous waters, a black cat on board was believed to offer protection from storms, guarantee safe return, and keep the rodent population and disease at bay. So in Japan, Scotland, Britain, among sailors and single folks, black cats weren't unlucky. They were good luck rolls of fur, fortune cookies with whiskers, and silent roommates with superhero vibes. And it gets better, because those positive legends come with fascinating flavors. Love luck, money luck, protection luck. But wait till you hear where else the black cat got worshipped as a bringer of wealth. The story doesn't stop at Japan or Britain. In parts of continental Europe, like France and Germany, black cats have traditions of their own. In France, there's a legend that if you released a black cat at a crossroads where 5 roads met, it would lead you to hidden treasure. Black cats, sometimes called madagots or magician cats, rewarded owners who treated them well. Protect the cat. Get rewarded. Classic mystical economics. German folklore took a more directional approach. There, a black cat crossing your path could be either good or bad. depending on which way it crossed. If it went, say, from left to right, good luck. Right to left? Maybe reconsider your life choices. It's all about context. Down in the Celtic world, in parts of Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, black cats sometimes appeared as mystical creatures like the legendary cat Sith, a large, fairy feline creature said to roam the highlands. In some stories, this cat could steal souls or bring omens, not always good ones. But in other more modern or mundane tales, the arrival of a black cat at one's house still stood for fortune or a blessing. So, depending on where you were standing, Paris, Berlin, Edinburgh, the black cat could be treasure finder, miracle luck, or soul-stealing fairy. Take that, Halloween cliches. But let's rewind a little. How did we swing so hard from worship and good luck to fear, curses, and witch hunts? The origin story of that shift is both dark and kind of bananas. The turning point happened when fear, religion, and superstition collided. In medieval Europe, especially between the 14th and 18th centuries, cats, black cats in particular, became entwined with witchcraft and demonic beliefs. The result? Violent persecution, superstition, social paranoia. One notorious milestone, the papal bull Vox in Rama, issued in the early 13th century by Pope Gregory IX, which denounced certain secret sects and tied black cats and other animals to satanic rituals. The moral panic that followed spread across Europe. From there, popular folklore whispered that witches could turn into black cats or use black cats as companions, familiars, to carry out dark magic. Some legends claimed that a cat could transform into a witch after a certain number of years. Others guessed that the appearance of a black cat predicted death, disease, or curses. This wasn't innocent superstition. Beliefs like these helped fuel witch trials, fear-driven violence, and societal paranoia. The black cat's sleek coat and glowing eyes fit the spooky narrative too well, so it became a perfect scapegoat for collective fear. And when those tales traveled across the ocean, to North America, for instance, they evolved further. Colonists brought their superstitions with them, linking black cats to witches, curses, and all-around unluckiness. Halloween tropes solidified it. But hold on. While centuries of fear painted black cats in shades of danger and doom, there are some surprisingly modern twists to the tale. Real people, real consequences, and real solutions. Today, black cats still bear the scars of that centuries-old stigma. In many animal shelters, especially in Western countries, black cats are among the hardest to adopt out. Why? Because of prejudice. In photographs, they're harder to read. Their eyes might shine weirdly, their expression might look more ominous, and people just feel they're spooky. Some shelters report black cats have higher euthanasia rates simply because fewer people choose to adopt them. That stigma, rooted in superstition, persists, even though biology and cat behavior show they are no different from any other lucky or unlucky kitty. It's a weird, sad twist. Centuries after witches and fear-based mythology tried to erase or demonize these felines, modern humans still avoid them, not because of curses, but because of ingrained superstition and aesthetic bias. But here's the thing, the story doesn't have to end sad. Because now we're awake to the myths, we can flip the narrative, and maybe even start celebrating black cats for what they really are: misunderstood, majestic, and often lucky. Despite all the dark history, black cats still hold a special place in many modern cultures, not as curses, but as blessings. In Japan, black cats remain a sign of good fortune, prosperity, and even romance, especially for single people hoping for love. In Scotland and parts of Britain, many still hold on to the tradition that a black cat visiting your home means prosperity is coming your way. Across continental Europe, superstitions vary. In Germany, a black cat crossing from left to right is good luck, but the opposite direction? Not so much. In France, legends about magician cats rewarding kindness toward them still circulate. Treat a black cat well, and they might lead you to treasure. Even among sailors and fishermen centuries ago, Whether British, Irish, or European, black cats still had a place of honor as protectors of ships, warders against disease by catching rats, and charm carriers for safe voyages. So yes, the myth of the unlucky black cat is a real thing in many places, but it's far from universal. In fact, the majority of human cat history paints black cats as cunning protectors, lucky charms, and simply misunderstood furry legends. And if you think that's where it ends, you're wrong. Because there's an unexpected modern twist to this tale that involves social activism, adoption, and maybe a little hope. In recent years, animal welfare groups, cat lovers, shelters, and even cultural activists have started pushing back against the lingering superstitions. There are campaigns, media articles, and social media movements dedicated to reframing black cats, not as ominous omens, but as wonderful companions needing loving homes. Some organizations celebrate days like Black Cat Appreciation Day, a chance to shine a spotlight on black cats, highlight their beauty and personality, and urge potential adopters to look past the myth. Why does this matter? Because myths don't just live in old folklore, they live in our attitudes toward real animals. When people avoid black cats just in case, it means more time in shelters, more risk of abandonment, or even euthanasia. Turning that around means saving lives, fluffier, purr-filled lives. But there's more to our modern black cat saga than shelters and social media. Because when you scratch beneath the surface, you find something beautifully complicated. Here's a fun twist. Black cats are often more common than lighter-colored cats, and their prevalence is partly down to genetics. The gene for black fur in cats is often dominant, which means many litters may include black-furred kittens, even if parents aren't both black. That explains why shelters often seem overstuffed with black cats. It's not just stigma, it's statistics. More black cats exist, but skin-deep color doesn't dictate behavior, personality, or luck. A black cat isn't inherently spooky, mean, or unlucky. It's just fur. So the myths that paint them as dangerous or jinxed are baseless when it comes down to real-world biology. In fact, modern studies of cat behavior show that black cats are just as friendly, playful, loving, and clingy, or sassy, as cats of any other color. Which means the real mystery isn't why black cats are unlucky, but why we ever thought they were in the first place. Why does the black cat is bad omen myth still exist today, more than half a millennium later? Because stories, especially scary ones, stick. Humans love patterns. We love cautionary tales. We love a good scare. Once the idea that black cat equals bad luck enters a culture, it's sticky. It's repeated. It becomes part of holidays, think Halloween, media, pop culture, reinforcing itself in movies, advertisements, and folklore retellings. Even now, many people unconsciously avoid black cats. Maybe they don't believe in witches. Maybe they don't even think luck when they see one. But the cultural residue remains, an uneasy feeling, a second thought, a hesitation. That hesitation leads to fewer adoptions, more stray cats, and more suffering. But stories can also work the other way. Reframe the narrative. Black cats as loving pets, lucky charms, beautiful companions. Share new stories. Celebrate them. That's how myths evolve, and how we can turn a centuries-old curse into a modern-day victory lap. And if you think that's just about cultural narratives or shelter politics, you're missing one of the best parts, the cats themselves. Because there's yin, there's yang, and there are purrs. At the end of the day, black cats are mostly just cats. They purr. They scratch the sofa. They give you side-eye when you try to give them a bath. They nap. They knock things off tables when you're not looking. Under the fur, they don't carry curses. Their coat color doesn't influence their loyalty, friendliness, or love capacity. A black cat is just as likely to be a cuddle monster, a playful ninja, or a spoiled lap king or queen as any tabby or calico. So the next time someone tenses up because a black cat crossed their path, maybe gently remind them, that's just a cat with ambitions. Probably hungry. Definitely judging your shoe game. Because a full-on cat video isn't complete without some fun trivia to drop like little furballs of surprise. Some traditions believe that black cats bring luck only if they approach you, not the other way around. Because intent matters. A black cat choosing you? That's not bad luck, that's selective blessing. In parts of Germany, people believed that a black cat crossing from right to left was good luck, but from left to right was a bad omen. It's basically the feline version of look both ways before crossing the street. Some folklore says black cats bring good cash flow to households because their presence wards off evil and invites prosperity. So yeah, treat your black cat like a little panther-shaped stock market index. For sailors and fishermen, the black cat aboard the ship was more than just rodent control. It was marine insurance. Bad weather? Maybe blame the sea. Safe return? Thank the cat. Some stories even claimed that if a black cat left a ship voluntarily, the voyage would be in danger. Dramatic cat energy. So what have we learned today? Black cats have had a wild ride, from sacred gods to demonized nightmares to modern-day underappreciated fluffballs. Across cultures and history, not all superstitions are equal. In fact, many of the oldest and most enduring stories treat black cats as bringers of luck, love, wealth, and protection. The bad luck if a black cat crosses your path myth has a shaky origin rooted in fear, ignorance, and social hysteria, not real evidence or facts. In reality, black cats are just cats. Fur, whiskers, claws, no curses attached. Their coat color has no bearing on personality or luck. And perhaps most importantly, the stories we tell matter. Because fear-based myths can lead to real-world consequences, like shelter overcrowding, adoption bias, and unnecessary pain for innocent animals. So next time a black cat sashays across your backyard or strolls past your doorstep, maybe don't take a step back. Maybe take a step forward. Offer a scratch behind the ears. Maybe treat them with respect. Maybe even consider giving one a home. Because if the legends of prosperity and protection are true, who knows what luck you might be signing up for? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the wild mythology, global folklore, and real-life science of black cats, hit that subscribe button. Because we've got more myth-busting, cat-loving, history-hopping videos coming soon. And hey, before you go, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Did a black cat ever cross your path? Do you believe in luck? Let's see how global our little black cat army really is.